Welcome back to another episode of Global Card Collectors. Today we have Will is on with us, so it's both of us getting a fine opportunity to interview and speak with Will. I'm sorry, Neil. There are these L ending names. He can be found on Instagram at Neil Collects Cards. He's coming to us from Raptor land, let's call it. He's about an hour outside of Toronto,
Nice,
showing off
nice,
the
nice,
gear
nice,
there.
nice, nice.
And he's got just an amazing collection of basketball cards. So obviously, Will and I were like, can't wait to talk to you. Neil, welcome to the Global Card Collectors. How are you today?
I'm doing really well. Thanks for having me on the show. I'm eager to dive into, some, I don't want to say weird, but like not often talked about or collected players, I guess.
Great.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it just yet, but I mean, could you just kick us off by introducing when you got into the hobby, how you got in, kind of how did you take any breaks, just kind of, how
Sure.
all that.
Yeah. Probably the worst timing of any human in the hobby ever. So I started collecting as a kid, junk wax era, primarily hockey because we're in Canada. And collected until the high school years, and then you kind of fall out of love with it. In the college years, I sort of picked it back up, buying a few Raptors cards here and there. So this was probably around the year 2000 or 99. So Vince Carter was a thing, Tracy McGrady, Morris Peterson, that sort of era of the Raptors. So I bought a couple cards here and there. So obviously between the junk wax era and uh, the time that I restarted, I'd missed the whole like Kobe era with like all the beautiful inserts and PMGs and all of these super expensive cards that ended up popping off. And then when I had finished school, which was around 2002, 2003, I ended up interning in Vietnam. And then, of course, I missed the LeBron rookie year.
Right.
Uh, and when I came back, I sort of like actually collected more like golf cards than
Wow.
anything else.
Wow.
And was kind of in and out of the hobby here and there, buying a couple cards on eBay, maybe a few times a year, but nothing really too serious uh, until the pandemic, like a lot of people. And then I guess the situation happened where, I bought something at retail and I pulled a really big hit, and then that kind of hooked me back onto the hobby. And and of course at that time I was looking up like the value of some of my old cards, and everything was just shooting up. Like everyone was just buying. Like I remember I had a Hakeem Olajuwon rookie card raw, looked beautiful. Like it looked like a 9 or a 10, but it had like one of these like tiny, tiny creases that you could only see from like the backside. So the front side looked really clean. And I remember I threw it on eBay for like $250 and like raw, and it sold within like 10 minutes.
Oh my
And I
God.
was like, what's going on with this hobby right now? Uh, so, between pulling this big like Luka Doncic autograph redemption card and like kind of rediscovering some of the values have been kind of popping off, I sort of got into it more seriously. And yeah, just kind of been buying, selling, collecting, going pretty hard, if I am truly honest. I put in a lot of time and work. I attend shows. I sometimes am a dealer at shows. Um, but I guess my philosophy is like I tend to buy and sell and trade in the stuff that I like. So, if someone comes to me with like a Jason Tatum card, I hate the Celtics. Like I'm
So
probably
like,
not gonna want to buy that card from you, even if it's liquid. It's just it's not part of my, I guess, personal philosophy. So if it's like a player or team or something that I really dislike, I mean, it would have to be a heck of a deal for me to want to purchase it from you. But yeah, I've been going pretty hard, and you've taken a peek at my Instagram account, and I've been able to, knock on wood, like develop quite a collection over the last 5 years or so.
I
Yeah.
find it. Oh, sorry, John.
No,
You go first,
go
buddy.
go ahead.
All right, so I find it quite interesting because we have had quite a few guests on the show, and I think there's not, I don't know if it's schools of thought, but it's sometimes different approaches, and I guess it depends on where you're at. So I interviewed a guy a few weeks back, and he talked about how he was able to kind of keep emotion out of it when he was a vendor and a dealer. He's like, you know what, I can't get too emotionally attached to cards. But I like that you're almost, I'm not going to say that it's full circle in that sense, but it seems that there's a point where you're like, it doesn't matter how much money I can earn. You can't make me buy a Tatum card. I love it.
Well, I'm I'm trying to get a little bit better on that side. Like if I'm trying to
Sure.
be a dealer, I'm trying to, I guess, get into the stuff that will be more liquid.
Hmm.
But for the most part, I think people in and around this area kind of know me for being like the guy that has all the Raptors stuff
Great.
and usually deals with like some pretty unusual cards. Um, I'll occasionally have like base prism PSA 10s or silver PSA 10s or whatever that are liquid, but those aren't the cards that really move me or inspire me. I'm typically drawn more to autographs and like rarer cards where like people won't find at every other table at a show kind of thing.
Okay, cool. Very cool.
Yeah, the Celtics. Will's a Celtics fan, and I also hate the Celtics. So that that was I really appreciate you.
Easy.
Um, yeah. So Neil again, it's Neil collects cards, and Neil it's Neil. Just to kind of
Yes.
clarify that, because I think our guest in a week is another Neil with Neal. So anyway,
Okay.
this is Neil collects cards. Yeah, I mean, if someone looked at your page, they would just be like, "Wow, okay." They would see the Raptors for sure. And I like Petrović so much. But how would you describe kind of your collection, and how do you which cards you
Sure.
for?
I previously said that there were three pillars of my collection, but there's really four.
Mhm.
So the first one is my Dražen Petrović collection. So I'm more focused on his pre-NBA cards. So I'm not really chasing like the Prism Rainbows or anything else. There's other Petrović collectors that are competing on those, so I don't want any part of that. Um, I also have a Kyle Lowry collection, which is focused primarily on his rookie year, which is also good because most Toronto collectors want Raptors Kyle Lowry cards. The third thing that I'm trying to do is get an autographed card of every Raptors player in a Raptors uniform. So I'm currently like three cards short or three players short from finishing that, and it's been a pretty fun journey because there's been some cards that were extremely difficult to find of players that you know basically never played in the NBA.
I
You know,
gotcha.
someone like Euro Slokar or something. He was actually one of the most difficult cards to find um, in this journey. But the three that I'm missing, one of them I can find easily. It's a newer player, Jamison Battle. The other two are more difficult to find, at least at a reasonable price. One is Peja Stojakovic.
Oh,
He
wow.
had a cup of coffee with the Raptors, and he has one card from, it's a gold standard, I think 2013, and I think it's numbered to like 35 copies.
It's
Ooh,
gonna be
okay.
tough.
And I think there's one on eBay right now, and I think they're asking like $800 US or
Oh,
something
come on.
ridiculous, which I'm not going to pay.
Yeah.
And then the other card is Chuck Hayes. I
Yeah.
think 2013 or 2014 Panini signatures. I've never seen the card. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know if it exists, but it exists on a checklist.
Wow.
I haven't been able to like find an image of it online or anything like that,
Wow.
and no prior sales of it. So those are the two cards that I'm missing. So if anyone listening has a lead on either of those cards,
Yeah.
I'd be happy to talk to you and try to work out a deal.
Yeah, that I think people should hopefully help Neil out here for sure. Those are pretty obscure asks, and they're going to a good home clearly. The Chuck Hayes, so that's like that is also the only card that you know he's autographed of. There aren't other
Yes,
options. Okay.
correct.
Wow.
He played for the Kings too, I think. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good. Not, I'm like, I do recognize it. I'm a Kings fan. Um, but obviously I try to forget most of our seasons. So,
If anybody wants a good laugh, just YouTube Chuck Hayes free throw.
okay, I
I
will.
will. Me too.
Yeah, I'm writing that down. Um, so yeah, I mean, you of course laid it out for us beforehand, but I was curious. So, we're in Turkey.
Oh,
You,
sorry to interrupt.
yeah.
Those were the three pillars of my collection, but I did
Ah,
mention there's
yes, of
actually
course. Yeah,
four.
sure.
So the fourth one is more of like the logical, smart side of me, where it's like I want to have like a nice collection of cards that will eventually grow in value, hopefully, of players that I like. So these are like all-time great players or all-time great NBA players, usually rookie, usually autographed. Um, can I show you a couple of
Oh,
cards?
please, 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 please. I want to
Okay.
see them
That's
live.
why we're
So
here.
like this is like in my smart person collecting thing. Oh, hang on. Let me turn off this I don't know if I can turn this blur off.
You get the
One second.
background.
It'll happen.
Okay.
There we go.
So I have
Yeah,
a Curry.
unreal.
I picked this up at the National.
Wow.
Contenders rookie autograph.
That's a beauty. Is that numbered contenders too?
It is not numbered, no.
Okay.
Um, this one, it's a triple autograph of
That's
Shea, Jamal Murray, and RJ Barrett. So any Canadian fan, this is basically like their Grail card
that's
because
right.
they're
Yeah.
obviously all Canadian. Um, interesting story. So I had previously purchased a copy of this in a PSA 10 and UPS lost it or it was stolen.
No.
And it was never recovered, but I was able to find another copy. This is not basketball, but this is
Oh
one of my favorite
wow.
cards because I'm a
Oh
big golfer.
wow.
Tiger Woods,
Oh
rookie
wow.
autograph, Players Inc.
That's
Wow.
amazing. Wow.
Um, oh, this is another kind of grail card here.
Oh
So this is a
wow.
triple autograph, Magic, Bird, and Dr. J.
That's the Bird and Magic rookie card for everybody who's listening. So that's the was it 1980 tops? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Amazing. Did you get the three autos yourself or did you buy it and grade it?
I purchased it already
Perfect.
graded.
Wow.
And then like there's just stuff like this where it's just like an SGA rookie, Jokic rookie autograph. Let me see what else I have here. Nothing too crazy.
Nothing too
Steve
Yeah,
crazy.
nothing
Nash.
too
Oh,
crazy.
nothing, just a
So,
Steve Nash
so
auto rookie card.
Steve Nash is my all-time favorite NBA player,
Amazing.
obviously
Yeah,
being a
great.
good Canadian. I have a Giannis.
Oh, that's the auto that I love. I love that rookie auto of
Yeah,
his. It's
yeah.
so
That
great.
original autograph that he had.
Yeah.
And then a Yao Ming.
Oh, that's
This is
very
this is autograph. You
cool.
can't really see it, but
Yeah, oh, there it is. Yeah, is it sticker auto that one?
it is not. But this autograph is a little bit faded.
Uh-huh. Very
And
cool.
one card I just want to show, it's a hockey card. So back when I was collecting as a kid, my favorite hockey player was Patrick Waugh. He's a
Gotcha.
goalie for the
Hmm.
Montreal Canadiens, like all-time great player. And in a 1991 hockey card set, he had like 1,000 autographs inserted into these packs. And I remember being a kid, like, oh, I need this card, I need this card.
Hmm.
And it was one of these things like nobody ever pulled it because it was impossible to pull. But I eventually purchased the card
Oh, cool.
and got
Very
it
cool.
graded. So the funny thing is, like, when I was a kid, this card seemed just so unattainable. And
Hmm.
I mean, I think I picked this card up for like 200 US or something now,
Wow.
which is crazy, right? Just goes to show how prices can fall a little bit.
Wow. Wow.
I'm just gonna put those away.
That's a fantastic collection of cards. I tell you what.
Thank you.
Don't even know really where to start because there's just so many big ones. Oh, look at this one.
That's my dog. I just got to give him a shout out.
Another PC
Yeah,
card, of
so
course.
sorry for rambling on a little bit there, but
No,
yeah,
no, 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 no. Those are incredible cards, and that's taken you, I guess, just a lot of work and time, and I guess research to see which ones you really wanted to get for yourself. I looked at those cards and I saw that you had a couple of Shea autographs. I have just a single Shea question, I guess. Is he very popular in Canada? Because it seems like the general narrative around him now is that he's a little bit of a foul merchant. Initially, I was a big Shea fan, but I think that I've kind of fallen privy to the fact that sometimes he does kind of get pretty favorable whistle. And so I think it's a little bit unfair in some ways, but a lot of people out there don't really like him a lot. But he's a wonderful basketball player. He's got this beautiful mid-range game. He can get to the hoop. He's improving as an outside shooter. And he's just an offensive machine. But is he actually that popular in Canada, being Canadian?
yeah. So he held like a rally slash parade in his hometown after Oklahoma won the championship.
Hmm.
He's definitely really popular. I mean, I'm also a very like facts driven type of person. And I feel like if you look at the actual free throw numbers a little bit more closely, I mean, he's not really a foul merchant based on how many times he goes to the basket. And
Hmm.
the NBA today, where it's just all drive and kick, shooting three pointers, putting up, individual players shooting 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 threes a game, it's boring. You have
Yes.
a guy that's doing everything to get to the basket, score in the mid range, kicking it old school, like MJ, probably not getting as many calls as MJ, but they're still criticizing him. Like
Hmm.
what more can he do? Right? I I personally love his game. Love watching him.
Right.
Smoothest player in the NBA.
He's ridiculously smooth. So, and I mean, like people talk about a bag of tricks that guys have, and Shea's got a pretty endless bag, to be honest. And some guys just don't really have that much of a bag, but they can still score a bunch. But he's just got so many different ways to beat you. He's got so many different weapons, and that, especially when he just gets inside the 3-point line, he can do whatever he wants, and he's very hard to stop.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Neil, I like how you added the fourth pillar. I mean, I think most collector stories we hear about is, the unique things that people collect, but you have kind of anchored it as well and kind of going after these, eh, particular players that are obviously all-time greats in many people's eyes, etc. I mean, to kind of, yeah, as I said, anchor, I guess, your collection and kind of give it clear longevity and value for the decades to come. So I find that, I think I do that in my collecting as well. I think a lot of us do, but we don't always kind of talk about that, I guess, to try to show how unique our individual collecting approach is. So I just wanted to,
So I do want to be put on record to say that sports cards are not an investment
Great.
because the way that I've been able to obtain my collection, like, is through grinding it out,
Yeah.
right? Like, what I'm doing isn't an investment, it's a part-time job, right? An
Mhm.
investment is something that you just put money into, you don't need to worry about it, you don't have to do anything, the money grows, you know?
Mhm.
I think there's other better vehicles to grow your money passively without having to take on like a full or part-time job of flipping cards. That's all I have to say about
It's very true. Do you want to talk to us a little bit about that idea of a part-time job? Because you mentioned to us a little that you've been attending shows and vending at shows. So what would that grind look like to you? Like, because I'm pretty sure you grind pretty hard, you know?
Yeah, so I'm self-employed.
Hmm.
So I have the luxury of creating my own schedule, like kind of working as little or as much as I want. We've sort of gotten to this point in our lives where I don't want to say like I don't need to work because obviously I need to work, but like um, I don't need to work as hard now as I had to 10 years ago, I guess, right? And that's given me a bit of free time to like focus on the hobby and this sort of side hustle. And again, going back to me being very like facts-based, data driven, I actually maintain a spreadsheet. I started maybe like 3 years ago of like cards coming in, cards going out, what I paid for it, landed cost, because that's really important, especially being in Canada. A lot of people don't consider like you buy a card on eBay, you pay $100 for it, you pay $10 shipping, you pay $20 duty. Well, you actually paid 130. It's not $100. You got to
That's
log
right.
it in as 130.
Hmm.
So I'm very particular about, the numbers. And so I don't know if I want to say this
Okay.
publicly, but uh, it's gotten to the point where I've grinded it out pretty seriously, let's say for 4 or 5 years now. I've been maintaining the spreadsheet for 3-ish years, and I've gotten to the point where my collection's essentially free. It's
I
just
agree.
all of the labor that I put into flipping cards and turning a profit, like that profit has basically exceeded the value of my collection.
Amazing. That's the dream for collectors, right? Really, it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Can you tell us
So
that's the yeah, I think that's so can you tell us that I guess when you're talking about the grind, you're going to shows. How often do you like attend shows? Are you using eBay? Are there any sort of other platforms that you are, I guess, more successful on, or are you researching on cards on eBay and buying them and then trying to flip them? I mean, do you want to just talk to us a little bit about the I love the spreadsheet element because so many of our guests, as you've probably heard in the past, they're all telling us you've got to keep a spreadsheet. And John and I have been a little bit reticent for that for a while, but I think it's the next step in our evolution as collectors.
yeah. So I'll attend a show maybe once every couple of weeks,
Mhm.
and I'll maybe set up at a show once a month, sometimes more, sometimes less. Like this past weekend, I set up at 2 shows.
Wow.
Yeah. But I don't think I have any shows that I'm going to set up at until like the end of October.
Okay. And then the rest of your flipping, I guess, or grinding or collecting and buying and selling is all online?
It's mostly my sales are mostly like in person, either at
Wow.
shows on
Wow.
Facebook Marketplace. Um, I've always been someone who's been quite good at making connections, just in general, not just in the hobby, but like there are times where like I'll buy a small like hockey lot at a random show for $50, knowing that a friend of mine will pay 70 for it.
Hmm.
Like little, flips like that over time turn into, pretty significant profit.
Amazing. That's
Mhm.
great.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I do a little bit on eBay, but not a ton.
Wow.
Usually for like stuff that isn't super liquid locally. Yeah.
What about with the I guess when we look at ourselves as collectors from the past and now, how has I guess the online presence as for example, your Instagram account, you have about what, 18, almost 1,800 followers. Has that kind of led, or 1,600 followers, sorry. Has that kind of led to like any interactions where you'll be able to find some of those cards like for that Raptors collection that you have with these like obscure autos? Has anyone contacted you over your Instagram account and maybe said, look, I've got this auto, maybe you want it, that kind of thing? There been
Yeah,
any
yeah.
interactions like that?
So that does happen quite a bit where people are tagging me on Facebook or, linking me to someone selling a interesting Raptors card or something like that. So yeah, it's pretty cool when that happens. I've had at card shows where um, I'd leave my booth for a couple of minutes and then I'd come back and like someone left like a Dražen Petrović rookie card there for me,
Oh, wow.
which is like kind of like nice that they know that I'm the guy who collects Dražen. And there's other times where, people know that I need a certain Raptors autograph or something like that, and they'll think of me before they, think of anyone else, which is a good place to be.
Perfect. Yeah. It definitely helps, I think, having that Instagram page. I know that, for example, the way that I was able to meet John was through Instagram. So he found me because I had asked a question online at Sports Cards Nonsense, the podcast, and I'd used my Instagram handle. And he contacted me that way, and we wouldn't have met for a long time. I think maybe not even ever if it hadn't have been for that. So, yeah,
Yeah,
those people who are collectors and maybe are listening to the show, if you don't have an Instagram page about your card collection, just make one. It really does open doors. Like I met John through there. I've met a lot of really good friends through there. The Turkish guy who was our friend at the card show this past weekend at Istanbul. He was also the guy who reached out to me on I think it was either Facebook or Instagram, but I think having an online presence with your card collecting can really open up a community for you.
yeah, absolutely, 100% agree.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree. So to circle back to the autos, which one is the Hado Turkoglu auto?
You wanted that one.
I do have one. Hang on.
Because I mean, correct me. My memory is that he got the big contract from
Got the
Toronto
big contract
and then
and played
proceeded
like
to just drink tea and not do much. But correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh
Okay, so
wow.
this is National Treasures, right?
Wow.
Yeah, so this is after his playing days. So
Uh-huh.
National Treasures, I guess, re-released
It's
an autograph of his in 2002.
2013. What year is that?
This is 2022.
Oh
Okay.
wow.
And they
Yeah.
chose Raptors for him.
Uh, they probably just had some random game
Ah,
used
yeah, okay.
jersey
Game
sitting
use
around the
Raptors. Yeah.
That's
warehouse.
amazing.
Yeah,
Because I
sounds
mean,
all right.
it really should be Magic or Kings, before
Yeah,
Raptors, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the most expensive and one of the most difficult ones to find was Hakeem Olajuwon because he played one season with the
Wow.
Raptors
That's right.
and
That's
Um,
right.
he's got like a handful of autographs, but they're in like really high-end sets and they never, ever, ever go on sale. And I found one listed on eBay because I have alerts set up and everything else. And it's a chronology. Unfortunately, I don't have it with me because it's at PSA. It's a chronology autograph and it's inscribed Dream.
Oh wow.
And when I saw it on eBay, I looked at the guy's eBay handle and I'm like, Dude, I met this guy at the Vancouver Cards Show last October. So I
Yes.
just messaged him on Instagram and we were able to do a deal offline. So saved me
Perfect.
a little bit of money, but it was very stupidly expensive for a card like that.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm obviously like when you got the inscription on top, but I guess
yeah,
that goes to show again that the relationships do make a difference. Like there you go, you talked about having those interactions with different people, and it's worked out perfectly for you.
But
That's
so,
awesome.
but so it was the inscription that made it so much, but also because it's the only auto in a Raptors card that and is very sought after in Canada or
yeah. So anybody else who's trying to do what I'm doing is going to need an Olajuwon autograph in a Raptors uniform.
Hmm.
And the chronology autograph isn't numbered, but it's rumored to be like less than 10 copies. And like if you go to Card Ladder, like there's no Card Ladder history of that card selling.
Oh wow,
So
that's wow,
it's
that's a
difficult,
wow,
difficult
that's
to
a white
find.
whale. Wow, wow, wow.
Very, very, very interesting. Yeah, I'm thinking, Joey Sack Kings collector. I think he follows you. Maybe he has a new podcast with a few basketball collectors. I think it's called like Hanging and Talking Hoops. I'm getting the name wrong, but it just started. Um, and I wonder if I feel like he could start maybe this collection, but that would be for every Kings player. But I wonder what the difficult ones would be in that chase, like this Hakeem one or
Probably Chuck Hayes.
always Chuck Hayes, man, that free throw. Um, okay, so Will, can I have the floor for some Petrovic talk?
Go ahead, mate.
All
I
right,
know you've
yeah,
been waiting for this.
I mean, he's not a primary PC guy. I mean, this is really the only one card of his I have.
Yep.
When I found this, I just found it on ComC. I just got it graded. I was like, these cards are awesome. I'm pointing out the 1986 Merchante. I also have the Sabonis. So they're
Mm.
kind of paired together.
It's
Anyway,
it's hard to find that card without paper loss on the back.
yeah, yeah, it's true. Um, I know you have a copy, but you also have some Super Sport cards from 86, I think 88. Yeah, how did you get into and you have more and I want to talk about how you got an auto too. So I don't know. Tell me why you collect Petrovic and we'll take it from there, I guess. I'm excited.
Yeah, it probably goes back to early 90s. Every Saturday morning, I'd be tuned into NBA Inside Stuff. So I remember the one
Yeah.
episode where Dražen was on the show speaking with Willow Bay, getting interviewed. I think they may have spoken about like what was happening in Yugoslavia at the time. Um, I guess like on a more personal level, I've always been drawn to people or situations where they've had to overcome things. Like my family were refugees. We came from Vietnam after the war and like grew up really poor and like typical like immigrant story where the next generation of kids ends up having a much better life than the previous generation kind of thing. So I think Drazen's story kind of hit home and obviously with him uh, having lost his life tragically and way too early. Um, he was just always someone that was in the back of my head. Honestly, I can't really say that I used to watch his games back in the day,
Hmm.
but that was just his story was always sort of in my mind of like what could have been if he was able to prolong his career. And when I got back into collecting in 2020, uh, everyone's just collecting the same guys, Zion or Luca or whoever it was at the time, Ja. I was like, you know what? Like, look at my old junk wax collection, got a bunch of cool draws and cards, and I'm like, yeah, this is kind of cool. Like, let's dig a little bit deeper to see what kind of cards he's got. And eventually, I just accumulated enough cards, and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I guess I'm a Drazen collector now."
Right. Right.
Yeah, and further to that point, it was like not so much as more like recent Prism releases and stuff that was of interest to me. It was more his pre NBA stuff, his uh Euro cards, his yeah, yeah, that era, Yugoslavian card. I know there's some Drazen collectors where the Yugoslavian cards or the ones with the Yugoslavian flags are a little bit controversial for those types of collectors, but yeah, so
Yeah,
just part of that region's history.
sure. Yeah, I can imagine Croatians maybe or something aren't super psyched to have Yugoslavian cards. But well, I'll speak for myself, being a naive North American, I can just kind of enjoy it for what it is, the basketball. And obviously the Yugoslavian team was like incredible. I mean, the amount of talent on that squad, and if the country had stayed together, of course, like what might have happened in 1992. I mean, it's not that hard to collect pre-NBA cards. I mean, there aren't that many, right?
Mhm.
That's fair to say, right? I mean, I know of the Super Sport 86 and 88. Uh, am I missing anything other else on your page?
Um, so to interject a little bit,
Please.
I think something else that influenced me was watching the 30 for 30 documentary,
Yes, yes,
Once
yeah, no,
Brothers.
that's right.
I think that sort of
Beautiful.
piqued my interest in his story a little bit more. Um, well, maybe I can show you some of his pre-NBA stuff,
Yeah,
and
that'd be cool.
we'll see what you think you know.
Good. I think I don't. That's one of the reasons I'm here, at least.
Apologies for all this noise.
No, we're doing good, mate. We're having fun. At least I am, John. I know you are. I'm pretty sure John is as well.
Why else are we here, huh?
Okay, making a mess here. Whoops.
There
All
we
right.
go.
So, pre-NBA. So we have this one, which John just kind of showed.
Yeah, very cool.
I was lucky enough to find a seven, quite cheap. My previous copy, I think, was a one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. 1987's.
This
Yeah.
is a Super Sport from
Very cool.
87. This one is one of the rare ones.
Oh, wow, look at that hair. That's great. So is that what, 1988?
Yeah, it's 85.
85, 86.
85,
85
86. Okay.
Merchante. Yeah.
Look at that afro. It's
Spanish
so
and
cool.
yeah.
This card, it's graded a 4, but there's a big crease in it, so I think it's overgraded, and it really bothers me. So I would like to upgrade that copy.
Uh,
Um,
you want to pass it on somewhere? I'll take your four. Yeah.
so
I love this one.
this Drazen card, I bought this from a seller in Italy, and it was in a weird like Italian graded case that I had never seen before.
Mhm.
But I cracked it, and I'm pretty sure it was an 8.5 in the Italian case, and it came back 8.5, which I
Wow.
thought was pretty surprising.
It
Right.
is, yeah.
So there's this card,
Wow.
but they have different backs. So there's that one and the plain back.
Oh, wow.
I think the one with the soccer player is a little bit more common, but I'm not 100% sure.
So most of these cards for our listeners are super sport cards, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
A lot of them are stickers. So this one, I just found out about it. I don't know if PSA just started grading it,
Huh. I've never
Wow.
but
seen
it's like
this.
a hand cut card.
89 Gigantes. Huh.
Wow. That's a fun one.
Yeah, so I don't know what it was cut out of. It I think the PSA pop is like maybe four on like all the number of graded copies on that card.
That the back is
It's a
looks like
blank.
yeah, like so it's been pulled out of a book maybe, huh?
I
Yeah.
have
No
no
idea.
idea.
Okay.
I
Um,
can tell John's taking notes here right now,
I
and what I
am.
can tell, I can already predict what he's doing. He's going, that one's got a flag. I gotta get the flag card.
Yeah, 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 I'm all over that.
yeah, this is just like one that came out of the Franz bread.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure these were actually like inserted into the loaves of bread.
Really?
Yeah.
I like the net one, how it's like one of those classic profile basketball shots. He's in his uniform, stand here and take a photo. That's a fun one. I haven't really seen any of those other ones.
So
This
this
one
one's
I
kind
know.
of cool. It's the team sheet, so it's actually perforated.
Haha, yeah, very cool.
Yeah, so it's not like the regular hoops rookie. Uh, Let me dig a little deeper here. I'm just gonna go. These are just some of the more basic ones.
Yeah, of
Skybox
course. Yeah,
rookie, the SI.
nice.
So this is one of the modern ones I picked up at the National, which I love.
Tiger
That's
Stripe
fun.
2018.
Fun.
Yeah.
That is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty cool story. I saw this on eBay. He had a very reasonable buy it now price. And I messaged him and I said, "Are you coming to the National?" And he's like, "Yeah, I live like 30 minutes away." So we met up at the National, met in person, super good guy. Um, so this is like the more modern stuff.
Fun.
Yeah,
So
that's the
when you
75th anniversary.
yeah, when you think about Petrovic in the NBA, do you picture him as a New Jersey Net or as a Portland Trailblazer? I guess that question's for both of you guys.
Net for sure.
Yeah. John?
Yeah, Blazer. Yeah.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
Blazer.
Yeah. I don't
Interesting.
know why, but I probably from the 90 hoops card. Just those
Yeah.
cards were so I was, junk wax and I just,
Yeah, I'm with Neil. I picture him as a New Jersey Net because I just kind of remember him bursting onto the scene in that Nets jersey. He just really elevated his game there, you know?
true. Yeah, he was more, yeah.
Yeah. Um, Show a couple more.
Oh, very nice.
Immaculate. And here's a couple of my favorite ones. These are kind of crazy.
Look at the leaf
So
one on
this
the
is
left.
the
Yeah, very cool.
Petrovic, Reggie Lewis dual patch.
Oh, wow. No way.
So they're both game used
No
patches from the league.
way. Wow. And the NBA, the NBA jerseys, right? I guess this,
No.
no.
I'm not sure about the Reggie Lewis one, but definitely the Dražen one is not NBA.
Oh, wow. So that's national team stuff then.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
think John might be able to identify it better than I would.
yeah, but I mean, I don't this it's a 2002 card or something. I can't quite read the label and
It's a 2023 card.
so they have a jersey from Yugoslavia. I mean, back in I mean,
Yeah, like they
yeah,
probably just had it,
just sitting
purchased
around
it,
like
cut it up
wow.
into cut
Look
it
at
up
that.
into cards.
Yeah, I mean, um, it's cool. It's cool.
With
And
him with
then the
Reggie
last
Lewis is pretty
one
interesting. Wow.
is
Oh,
the
and there's your auto.
auto.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, so the auto thing. I mean, curious how you obtain it. You might even have more than one I've saw or on your page. What's that? I mean, there are a few on eBay. I missed an auction at Heritage a few months ago. I saw it was really nicely signed. And now I think they're trying to flip it for like 300 more or something. But yeah, like how would you recommend I attack trying to find one of those? Because obviously they're limited for sad reasons.
Yeah, I did get mine on eBay. This was like maybe 5 years ago. I think I paid around 400 US for it.
Okay.
Um, I did manage to get another auto of his, I think it was a 91 or 92 upper deck. Um, I got that, I think on PWCC at the time for really, really cheap. Like it was like 200 something US. Uh, but a friend of mine, Boris, he's Serbian. He did not have a Dražen autograph, and my philosophy of just keeping the one card. So I was able to move that other autograph to Boris, which he was very appreciative of. But I did pick up, sorry,
You're all right.
too much stuff here. Now this one is awesome. I don't know how many of these exist. It's a ticket autograph. It's in ballpoint pen from a Nets game.
That's very cool.
Wow.
Yeah. So I picked this up, I think, at Pristine Auctions. And
Okay.
yeah, those are the two draws and autograph cards in my collection at the moment. I guess one's a ticket, so
Yeah. So you okay, so you just have the 90 hoops and the ticket.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
And the
Great.
ticket, I can't remember exactly, probably was around 400 US.
Okay. That does help because I mean that's probably a fair price. I mean, you know, um okay.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. You see them go for lower and you're like, but anyway, how it goes.
Any more questions for the
No,
graduate study, Jim?
I'm good. We've taken a lot of your time. Will, what about yourself?
I guess I want to kind of just dip into the Kyle Lowry story and why you're more focused on Kyle Lowry. Like, where was his rookie season? Was it the Rockets? Was he with the Rockets?
2006
Or was it
with
the Grizzlies?
the Grizzlies.
Grizzlies.
Uh,
That's right. Because he was kind of an almost a journeyman before he went to Toronto, and I didn't understand why teams kept letting him go because he was an excellent basketball player. Great at the Grizzlies. I remember he went to the Rockets. He went somewhere else, and then he came to you guys, and it was just like it's about time that this guy got a fair shake, and he really did. Just he really made Toronto his home, and he was fantastic for that team. Like, and as a Celtics fan, I used to hate Kyle Lowry so much
Yeah.
because he was just a master manipulator of referees, but such a smart, intelligent basketball player. So I used to love him. I think didn't even play for the Knicks, I want to say. He played in a
no.
lot of different, no, he didn't play for them. Okay. But he played in a lot of different spots where he was very underrated, and he'd often be the guy who would close a game for certain teams. And
Yep.
in Toronto, he was just fantastic. So tell us why you decided to go with Kyle Lowry Grizzlies cards rather than the
So
Raptors one.
Lowry, he's known as the GROAT, greatest
Nice.
Raptor of all time.
Nice.
He's known as the GROAT in this neck of the woods. Um, the reason I guess rookie cards is because I grew up in that era where it's like, yeah, like we want rookie cards.
Yes, me too.
And for no other reason than that, I've been collecting Kyle Lowry rookie cards rather than the Raptors ones. That's not to say that I don't have any Raptors Kyle Lowry cards, but the bulk of my personal collection is rookie year stuff. Yeah.
Great. Great. Do you want to just show off a couple of those too? You might as
Yeah,
well. Like,
sure.
yeah, that'd be great. I like the Groat, by the way. It's a great
Like
name.
what, sorry?
The Groat. I've never heard that before, that term.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I mean, I feel like DeRozan gets a bit of a hard deal too, because he was a great Raptor. I mean, they struggled to beat LeBron, but DeRozan was a solid basketball player.
Oh yeah. So this is a rookie year. This is a Michael Jordan tribute with that dunk.
Yeah, yeah, very
It's
cool.
uh it's a Walmart one of one. So this was
Wow,
like the one of one from the retail.
that's so cool. And an auto
The
to boot.
This is the exquisite printing plate 1 of 1 auto.
They're pretty. Very nice looking cards.
Yeah, super nice. This one's probably my favorite. Topps Chrome Gold.
Oh, yes. Can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong with that.
This is the Essential Credentials
Oh, look at these.
now. It's numbered to 71. There's another version that's Essential Credentials, I think, Future, and it's numbered to like 8 copies, but that's way more than what I'm willing to spend. It's like $1,500 or $2,000, which
Wow.
not quite committed.
Is that
This is a
that's
gold
Bowman's, right?
Bowman Chrome.
Wow. Oh,
And
for the
then,
days when they used to have so many different companies making basketball cards because they're
yeah,
so
and then it's just
different.
like black refractor.
Oh,
This is
yes.
not expensive, but it just looks so nice.
I agree.
Um, just trying to show the nicer stuff. Oh, this one's kind of rare. The SP Authentics Gold. This is
Yeah,
the one that's numbered to 25. The,
yeah, a lot of fun.
I don't want to say the base version, but this regular version's numbered to 99.
Wow.
Um, it's like the gold refractor and then the X Fractor auto. The gold is to 50 and the X Fractor is to 25.
These are finest. Yeah, the 2006 is a good year.
Yeah. Um,
I just hope the tops bring that kind of quality back, having all of those kinds of parallels rather than the newest iterations that we've seen, which I think have been a little bit below what they used to do at least.
it's the exquisite.
Yes.
There's a copy of this that's numbered to 25 as well that sold recently, and I had to excuse myself from the bidding after it reached, I don't know, like 1,000 US or something
Wow.
stupid. So this one is not autographed, but it's numbered to 25. And I have 2 of these copies. And then just like some lower end stuff. This is, I think, triple threads, random SP signature edition numbered to 10. Yeah, just like I have like a
That
bunch of other like
that's
cheap stuff,
ridiculous.
but
That's
it's not really
crazy.
worth showing.
That's crazy. That's a lot of fun. Yeah, that's an awesome card. That's the best Kyle Lowry collection I've seen. Can I ask you another Raptors connected question?
Yeah, for sure.
Uh, what's your favorite Raptors team of all time?
Well, it's got to be the championship
Yeah, it's the
team.
championship squad, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, to be honest, because my Celtics didn't do so well, I was definitely rooting for them a lot in those playoffs. I thought Kawhi was fantastic. I thought young Pascal Siakam was great too, but Lowry was one of those guys who was driving the show, man. And even didn't you guys have Marcus Gasol too at center?
Yep.
Marcus All,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was a great team. It was a great team.
I I think when we look at that team 15, 20 years down the road, we're gonna recognize truly how awesome that team was.
Yeah,
Because Kawhi's going to be a Hall of Famer. Gasol's going to be a Hall of Famer. Lowry's going to be a Hall of Famer. I know a lot of people don't think he is, but he definitely is. Siakam could be kind of one of these fringe guys.
yeah.
Uh, you know, Van Vliet's former All-Star. Ibaka was a
That's right, Van
solid
Vliet. Yeah.
player. Norman Powell was almost an
Powell.
All-Star last
Yeah,
year. Who else was on that team? Danny Green, one of the best role
that's right.
players. And this was with OG Anunoby injured throughout the entire playoffs because he
Mhm.
had his appendix removed. So if we would have run back that team with Anunoby, like talking dynasty.
decided to get Kawhi to sign with his uncle and getting all of these side contracts that obviously people are
Yeah,
talking about
plant
these
some more
days.
trees and maple trees in Canada, you know? We should have done something like
Yeah,
this.
he's obviously he's
Well, what's funny about Kawhi's legacy is he will never be more loved or remembered as fondly as he was as a Raptor.
it's true.
Like
It
he's
really is true.
universally loved by every Raptors fan,
Wow.
right? And you can't say that about his time in San Antonio. He
No.
hasn't done anything with the Clippers, like, but you talk to any Raptors fan and we're like, we'd do anything for him still to this day.
Yeah, interesting because I thought that maybe there might be a chance you'd pick one of those Vince Carter squads, especially the one that went up against Iverson. Like that was an incredible series. It was just like
Yeah.
40-point game from one guy, 40-point game from the other. It goes all the way to a game seven. That was a fun series too, and that
If
was a good team, I guess.
if Vince would have hit that buzzer
That's right.
beater, I
That's
think things
right.
would have been a
That's
lot different.
that's right.
And then there's a what if of like if McGrady would have stayed, and you kind of don't want to go through that whole rabbit hole of what ifs.
Yeah, very fun. Who's your favorite current Raptor in the team right now?
Current Raptor favorite or who I'm rooting for the hardest. So,
However you like.
in addition to all of the cards that I've shown you, I actually have a huge Scotty Barnes
Yeah,
Oh,
collection,
I knew that was
okay.
coming. I
like
saw that.
massive Scotty Barnes collection. So obviously I'm rooting for him. Uh, that's a really good question. I really like Jamal Shed.
All right.
He's like our second string point guard. He's cut from the same cloth as Kyle Lowry, just defensive minded. He's a dog, just will defend his butt off and just try to work harder than anybody else on the court. But he's 6'1" or 6 feet, so he's pretty limited in what he's able to do on the court. But he's a fun player to watch for sure. And I'm actually really excited for our team this year because we finally get to see, Brandon Ingram try to get worked into the rotation with our existing core. So I'm very hopeful that we're at least going to make the play in.
Oh, I'm a big well, for fantasy particularly, Pirtle, so underrated,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
And he came out, I think last off season, he was kind of intimated that it was going to be a throwaway season.
yeah.
And this summer he intimated it would not be a throwaway season. So
Wow.
draft your Raptors. Hold on to your seats. I mean, I think I would go the over on their win loss. Not gambling advice, but I just think the mainstream audience out there doesn't really think the Raptors. They don't even kind of get the Raptors or something because they're in Canada and this kind
So,
of thing.
so there was a weird betting stat I remember from last year where, um, other than last year, because I think they missed the over under by like half a game or something, but uh, prior to that, I think they had beaten the over under like 10 consecutive years or
Wow.
something for
Wow.
number of wins. So they tend to overperform.
Well, they've got a lot
Um,
of fun players in that team too. I'm curious to see how Scotty Barnes does this year. I feel like he's almost been looked over as a person who maybe because he doesn't shoot so well might not be that great, but he's he's just oozing with talent. So I'm rooting for him for you as well with the card collection
yeah,
of yours.
yeah.
Hoping he does well.
I think the issue with Scotty is he almost does too many things,
Hmm.
and they don't really know how to play him. I mean, there's times where he's playing point guard and then the next quarter he's playing center.
Yeah, well,
Like, how's a player supposed to develop and find their role in the NBA if they're
very
literally
true.
tasked to do
Yeah,
everything?
that's a good point.
Mhm.
Well, I'm hoping that the Raptors do well because obviously my Celtics have decided that we're just gonna let go of all of our players and and stay underneath the second apron. I don't think I mean, we could probably still make the playoffs in the East because it seems pretty light. We'll
Yep.
see. We'll
Yeah,
see.
we'll hope, Will. I mean, we're all really pulling for you. It's
Yeah.
tough to be a Celtics fan, and I
Stop.
hope the suffering is just not too bad this year for you. Yeah.
I think
How do
it's
you even
about
ask
time
for
that
sympathy?
New England area fans, have a stretch of years where they're suffering because I think they've seen enough success for a lifetime.
Oh, it's just ridiculous how many titles they've won in the major sports in the last 15
Yeah.
years. Yeah, yeah. So know your audience next time, Will. We don't want to hear it.
Amazing.
All right, guys. It's getting late here, and we've held you a long time, Neil.
That's very true.
We'll wind down now, and thanks so much again to the audience. You can find Neil on Instagram at Neil Sports Cards. Again, that's
No, no,
Neil.
it's NEIL collects cards.
Oh, sorry. Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's right. Yeah, Neil
Uh,
collects cards. Definitely check out his Instagram page. He's
yeah.
got, if you are listening and you didn't get to see all of the cards that we were just kind of oohing and eyeing about for about 10 minutes at a time, check them out because it's got a wonderful card collection. There's some really great advice on there. I remember watching a little clip that you showed about, I think there's a way that you can use your camera app to be able to check if you don't have a loop light. I quite like that little reel, and it's a nice little
Yeah, thank you.
piece of advice. Just small pieces like that on his Instagram page that are really handy. Neil, just before we go, I have one more question actually.
Mhm.
Do you have any tips or advice for those people who are kind of collecting or new to collecting, or maybe, I guess, advice that you would give to your younger collecting self?
I think it's important to just have goals. Um, if you're in it for the finances, then like be 100% into that. If you're into just like collect your favorite player, then just go all in on that. Uh,
Cool.
don't don't follow what everyone else is doing. Uh, with that being said, I feel, because I do have the privilege of like going to the national and like seeing kids walk around with like 100K worth of cards in their cases and all that kind of nonsense. But I feel that if this whole generation is focused solely on dollar values and flipping, then the cards won't have any meaning long term, right? It's like me chasing that like Patrick Wall hockey card from back in the 90s because I have that connection to it from when I was a kid. If I was a
Mhm.
kid just like flipping cards for money and not really focused at all on what I was flipping, then, you know, you may as well be day trading stock,
Yes, true.
right? Like, what are we doing here? There needs to be a collector who finds like every card, every good card needs to find its final home. And when I'm a dealer, I try to find cards that are built for those homes. Like I don't tend to carry cards that like are going to be flipped to somebody else, right? It's like,
I gotcha.
I don't know. You just want to like enjoy the hobby and do what you can to grow your collection and everything else. But at the end of the day, if there's no collector actually collecting, the values and the nostalgia of this hobby will plummet and it it might not be good long term.
Yeah, you definitely need to be collecting the players that you're interested in, that you love, and that like you're rooting for. So I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, I just want to thank you both for having me. It's been a really fun conversation and yeah, I wish you guys all the best with this podcast and I'll continue to listen and promote it and hopefully we'll run into each other one day in Istanbul or at the National in Chicago or maybe even at the Expo here in Toronto.
Awesome.
Perfect. Let's do that. Thanks so
Thanks for
much.
coming on, buddy.
Thanks so
Yeah.
much, Neil. Have a good one.
Thank you. You
All right.
too. Bye.
See ya.